Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sitting in front of you today with a little more of a professional setup because I'm already sitting here filming other videos. I figured I might as well hop on here for you guys. But today is a kind of apology video, and what I'm apologizing for, I'm not too sure if it's even necessary, but it's just been like something I've never done, and it's always floated in the back of my head for years now, which was my neglect to really address things throughout my vlogging career. And I'm not really too sure what really needs addressing and what doesn't need addressing, but the first thing that comes to my mind is the whole Australia moment of my life. And I did have a really personal and private video that I shared on my Patreon account about a year ago, or almost a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I've lost track of time, where I let people know what happened on a very personal level, but for a certain dollar amount, which was only $9. And the reason why I did that, even though it got a little bit of hate, was because it was a very sensitive and emotional thing for me to talk about, that I didn't want people who didn't like me to attack me with. And unfortunate enough as it is, at that time, I felt there was a lot of people that hated me that still watched my content. And I wanted to avoid giving another weapon to use against me in a moment where I was very vulnerable and very weak. So I'm not, because that was a paid for video for people who only wanted and valued the information, which worked. I really appreciate all of you. So many of you did pay for that content, and so many of you respected that content, which I'm so grateful for. So grateful that you respected me and that very sensitive topic and my story on what exactly happened. But that was a while ago, and I kind of just want to apologize, not necessarily for making that a paid video. I still believe that was the right choice, but I want to apologize for the neglect the entire year and a little bit after, when I was living in Australia and kind of being extremely defensive about everything. And I feel like during that year, whenever anyone would bring up like my emotional state or my relationship or anything like that, I was a little angry in a defensive way, which I don't feel like was right. But because I was in such a toxic and unhealthy living situation for so long, it was very hard because I was also trapped. Kind of the reason why I was trapped was all financial reasons. I spent so much money getting to Australia and getting a visa for Australia that it put me in probably almost $5,000 worth of debt for clearly a situation that didn't work out at all. So I had no way of exiting the country at that time. I couldn't go back to Japan where I wanted to go back to because I had $5,000 of debt. So it was almost as if I was being held captive in a very unhealthy, toxic, almost abusive situation where all I could do was continue to make YouTube videos. And so when people would come onto my videos and try to publicly pick apart what was wrong with me, what was wrong with my home life, it was very hard to deal with. And as such, I feel like I was very defensive at that time. I feel like I was very angry as well, because it was a situation that I was very much stuck in. Especially being in a country that's not your own country, not really having any friends that can take you in. It was a very, very hard situation for me. I was trapped, there was no escape. So I think that translated a lot in my energy, in the comments, and when I was talking to you guys, or even in my videos. I feel like it came along with a side of defensiveness and constantly in an indirect way having to address it without really addressing it because I couldn't address it because I was in an abusive situation where if I addressed it, it would be really negative on me and my home life. So yeah, I just kind of want to apologize for that as well. And I really think that's kind of the only thing that I think deserves an apology. I can't really think, I feel like there was something else, but not necessarily. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. So really kind of just the secretism and the anger and the neglect and the kind of just keeping it a secret and not really addressing it. I feel like that sent you guys a lot away from my channel. I feel like it threw a lot of people off from me, but it didn't come from who I was as a person, but me just trying to protect myself, not only online, but also in my personal life, because if I said the wrong thing, it would come back to me personally. So I think that really changed the energy of my channel during that year, and I feel like I lost a lot of you guys because of it. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was not the person I was, and like it was just not a good time. It wasn't a good time. But it's I don't know. I just feel like when I think back onto that time in my life, it really wasn't me. It was very unfortunate. So yeah, it's just a little apology video to you guys on scaring anyone away, just not being myself. But please do understand, I didn't do it on purpose, and it wasn't something I wanted to be doing. It was something of a protective mechanism to keep not only my online exposure safe, but also my home life and my personal self safe from any more damage and mental difficulty and potential abuse, and just trying to be safe, try to be safe and get through the hardest time of my life. With that being said, you may be wondering what happened to that debt, and because of that huge debt I got from Australia, it took me a long time to pay it off, because not only was I also in the middle of paying off my original student loan, which was a lot of money. I was also having that additional debt from the horribleness that happened in Australia. And then also when I moved back to Canada, I realized I had to go back to school to validate my career experience to be considered professional here in Canada. So I had to go back to school. So it took me until this past year to be able to pay off the negative effects that happened from not only living overseas and the debt that comes alongside with it, but the mistake of moving to Australia, and when I knew I shouldn't have, but I wanted to believe it to be the right decision, and it resulted in a lot of financial struggle with me. And that's kind of why I haven't and did not move back to Japan, even though I really wanted to just leave Australia and go back to Japan. It was all a financial thing that I couldn't do unless I paid off my thousands of debt. So I'm happy to say that that is something that I was able to achieve within this past year, thanks to a lot of help from a very loving person, helping me to be able to, pay it off in a faster way. So don't worry, I paid it off all by myself with my own dollars, but I had people helping me to be able to achieve that faster and not have to put an additional 9 years into paying off the mistakes I made. And I learned a lot from it, and I learned a lot about, money and all that stuff. So I'm hoping once this whole pandemic situation ends that because my financial situation is better and hopefully will be getting even better within 2021, I'm hoping that I can finally, after 5 years, almost but do a long stint in Japan to, kind of make up for the years and the loss and the mistakes of leaving that I didn't actually want to leave but left, which is why whenever I see anyone living in Japan or any friends that's thinking about leaving, I always message them and say, don't make the mistake I made. If it's going good for you, if you're growing, if you're making money and you don't fully 100% want to leave, don't do it, because it will truly be the biggest mistake of your life, and who knows when you'll be able to get back in next, right? So anyway, that is this sneaky little making up for a vlog, I wanted to do something a little bit different and talk a little more with you guys and kind of do a little one-on-one to apologize for that entire year of vlog content, because I never really did, and I never really addressed it to all of you. I kept it as that private thing, and I never went beyond that. And I realized in the past week that I never addressed it to all of you. I just kind of like, well, that was that. Don't worry anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't expect content like this often. It's really, as you know, not me, but I hope that it makes you feel better. I hope it puts a little clarity on what happened there, and that's not who I was, and that I am sorry if I came off as someone I am not, and I'm sorry if it made you think lesser of me, lesser of this channel, and gave you a bad taste in your mouth about me. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Happy New Year. Let's hope 2021 is better. Let's all work hard to be better during 2021, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.